Hi, I'm Barista Brian. Welcome to the cafe. I have the Federal Minister of Tourism here, Soraya Martinez Ferrada. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What does the Federal Minister of Tourism do?
It makes sure that people don't only see us as a fun industry, because we are fun, you're fun,
I am fun.
and this is really fun. We're one of the biggest industry in Canada, and we have 1 out of 10 of jobs. It's industry of tourism. After the pandemic, we have to make sure that we regain the momentum we had, and my job is to make sure that we are doing that, not only in Canada, but everywhere in the world.
And this is your first time in New Brunswick?
No, I've come quite a few times.
Okay.
This is the second time in Fredericton.
Okay, what do you think?
I love it. Slow pace, but very deep and spiritual kind of vibe, and yeah, I love it.
It's the river. The Indigenous people, this part of New Brunswick, are named for the river, and it's the people of the beautiful and bountiful river.
I know.
Olastoqey people.
And that's what I think you feel in this town. It's just that kind of pace of very joyful and peaceful.
Are there some New Brunswick tourist destinations that you'd like to check out, or do you recommend?
Go and meet the people in cafes, come to the museum, go along the river. Just enjoying the people here is just amazing.
What is some advice you have for someone coming to Canada for the first time? Maybe something you wish you had known before you came here?
That's a really good question. I've never thought of that. Taking the risk of talking to people that you don't know. And Canada is a welcoming country, and people are just very curious of knowing what they don't know, and curious about having a sit down and coffee and just talking to you. And don't be scared of talking to people, because people are nice. Very nice people.
I get nervous talking to people sometimes.
Well, I do too.
Coffee is a way to meet people, right?
Yes. Go to the coffee shops that people like. Not that we don't have anything with the big brands of coffees, right? But local shops of coffee are run many times by people that live in the cities.
We're
passionate. Passionate and the local. Go and see local baristas.
They're the heart of the community. Yes. Because a lot of the times baristas are the first person someone sees in a day, and that's a very special and sacred relationship. Yeah, get to know your baristas.
Get to know your baristas and get to know the local shops and the coffee shops. And that's for me, every time I go to a new city, we look for the local shops of coffee.
Where did you go this morning?
We were going to the Belgium, but it was closed this morning.
Oh, Belgium Cafe.
Yes,
Yum.
but it was closed.
Okay, that's okay.
We went to, remember the name?
Claudine's.
Claudine.
Interesting choice for coffee, Fredericton.
But it was good.
Yeah, the owners there are lovely. That's Fredericton. You get to know everybody. The last 4 years have really changed a lot of people's lives, and we're dealing with inflation, but also climate change. And I want to know, how has climate change impacted tourism as an industry, and what do you think about the future of tourism?
People don't think about climate change in tourism. When you think about flooded Fiona here that affected many accommodations in the Atlantic, when you think about wildfires in the east and the west part of the country, closed a lot of hotels and accommodations too. I think climate change has an impact in all industries, and I think tourism is the one that we need to think about how we're going to address. I was in Quebec City last week. They have this ice hotel, and it was actually warmer outside than inside of the hotel. The hotel was actually dripping. When you think about climate change, is people coming to Whistler to ski and cannot ski because there's no snow. Climate change is to come in the summer, it's too hot to go outside. I think climate change in terms of tourism is people have to think about how we're going to address that, and it has to do with our plan. I mean, and it has to do with our planet and making sure that we have an aggressive plan and ambition for fighting climate change. It's not a switch, right? It's a constant daily advocacy, but action that you have to do on a personal basis, but also as a government. And we are for in the long run, because we have to undo decades of not action, but we have to work at it every day.
Do you feel pressure sometimes?
Yeah, we do.
In government especially, because you have to make decisions that affect a lot of people.
Yeah, we do, because people are frustrated and people want to see it very quickly. People want to see it happening tomorrow. And I get that. We just need to make sure that we are supporting not only a government that has a plan, but we as individuals contribute to that plan. It's a drop in the ocean.
The choices we make every day will add up, right?
Exactly. And you were talking about buying your shirt in a thrift store.
Yeah.
But I bought my dresses that I wear in Parliament in thrift stores. And I've wear them because I feel everything that you do has a choice as your personal choice, but as a government, it's the same thing. We have to make sure that we're working together and making every step every day. In the long term, we'll win the fight.
It's good to stay optimistic too, have hope about things, and try to look for good news. I always try to look for good news, especially around the climate, because there is good news. It's not all bad news.
I think the good news is that people are seeing it and believing it. Not everyone is believing it, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are believing it because we're seeing it. The planet is sending us signals saying,
yes.
hello, I'm here. You need to address this. That's what we're doing. And we have to to do that every day.
I have a coffee tour here in Fredericton, actually. It's called the Coffee Connoisseur Tour.
Oh, nice.
So there's coffee tourism. I take people around to all the local cafes. On the way, we learn about coffee from the farm to your cup. And we really explore environmentalism and coffee, because coffee is a huge carbon emitter as an industry. So then I have to think, well, where is my coffee coming from? I'm trying to use this tour to relay that to people and give people an understanding and a connoisseurship of coffee, and they understand where it's coming from in their cup. And it's not just appearing out of nowhere. There's a whole process and industry, and maybe you could make choices with your coffee that will help
Absolutely.
the planet.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much for
Thank
everything
you.
you're doing.
And having me with a coffee
Awesome.
with my face on it.